Have you ever sat down to work at 9 a.m. and realized it was suddenly 2 p.m., yet you feel like you accomplished absolutely nothing? You tell yourself you were lazy. You tell yourself something is wrong with you. That story feels honest, but it isn't. It is not a character flaw. It is a biological glitch. And every day, without realizing it, you are feeding it. Your brain has a hidden feature. It can compress your day into a blur. It can erase hours from your memory like they never existed. Most people try to fix this with time management. They buy calendars, apps, systems. They are solving the wrong problem. Real time management isn't about tools. It is about biology. It is about 7 leverage points that control how fast life feels and how much you actually get done. Lever 1. Space. Time is not objective. It is a sensation. And your sensation of time is shaped by geometry. When you are hunched over a laptop in a small, cluttered room, time feels compressed. It rushes. Because the brain systems that judge spatial depth are closely tied to the systems that judge duration. Cramped space creates cramped time. So the first protocol is simple. Expand your geometry. Not with motivation, with physics. Protocol: the gaze reset. Every 30 minutes, stop looking at the screen. Pick the furthest point you can see: a cloud, a building, a tree line. Hold your gaze for 10 seconds. You are not resting. You are resetting the brain's spatial temporal clock. Protocol: the visual field. A desk covered in trash signals confinement. Your brain reads it as a smaller world. A smaller world means faster time. Clear the field. Protocol: extend the body. Reach for something distant. Stretch your arms wide. Stand up and occupy more space. Even this small movement signals expansion. And expansion makes time feel abundant. If you feel like you are always running out of time, stop staring at a rectangle. Look at the horizon. Because the day isn't disappearing, your environment is deleting it. Lever 2. The breath. This is the hardware reset most people ignore. When you are stressed or rushing, your breathing becomes shallow. This signals the brain to increase the frame rate of your perception. Everything feels faster. Panic sets in. You cannot think clearly when your biology is in survival mode. To slow down time, you must hack the autonomic nervous system. Protocol: the 3-breath reset. Before you switch tasks, or when you feel the rush taking over, stop. Take 3 deep breaths. Slow inhale, slower exhale. You are telling your amygdala, there is no tiger, there is no danger. By manually slowing your biology, you slow down the subjective speed of the clock. You buy yourself room to think. Lever 3. Identity. Even if you fix your environment, you can still fail, because the subtle sabotage is identity. Your brain is an acting machine. It aligns your behavior to the role you believe you are playing. Most people walk around with invisible labels. I am a procrastinator. I am slow. I am not disciplined. And the brain, being obedient hardware, fulfills that script. You don't need to become a new person. You need to play a new role. Think of performers under extreme pressure. Beyoncé doesn't walk on stage as herself. She becomes Sasha Fierce. Not because she is pretending, but because the brain performs better when it knows exactly which role it is playing. You need the same thing. Create a physical trigger, specific glasses, a specific ring, a jacket you only wear to work. A physical object that tells your brain, the amateur is gone, the professional is here. Protocol: name the role. Say it out loud. I am the project lead. I am the closer. Your voice is a switch. Flip it. Protocol: burn the boats. Most procrastination is just self-handicapping. I'm not feeling it today. I'll do it when I'm ready. That is not honesty, it is insurance. Remove the out and the brain performs because it has to. Lever 4, selfishness. This is uncomfortable for many to hear, but noble causes rarely work. We are told to work for the company mission or for the greater good. But the brain is inherently selfish. It needs a personal reason to burn energy. A study of over 10,000 cadets at West Point Military Academy revealed a dark truth. Those who had internal motivations, like wanting to be a strong leader or personal mastery, outperformed those who had instrumental or noble motivations. If your reason for working is to make my boss happy, your brain will rebel. It will drag its feet. Protocol, the selfish audit. Stop lying about why you are doing the task. Find the selfish angle. I am doing this to finish early and play video games. I am doing this to prove I am smarter than them. I am doing this to feel the relief of closure. It doesn't have to be noble, it has to be real. When you align the task with a selfish desire, the friction disappears. Lever 5, time structure. Now, let's talk about the most common delusion, the planning fallacy. The human brain is an optimist, to the point of self-harm. It assumes everything will go perfectly, no interruptions, no fatigue, no chaos. So you schedule your day to 100% capacity, and then one small delay, one email, one crash collapses the entire structure. That creates chronic time scarcity, the feeling of always being behind. The rule is simple, 80%. Never schedule more than 80% of your day. Leave 20% blank, not for scrolling, for buffer and recovery. Because recovery is not the opposite of work, it is part of the system. Walking, a short nap, a quiet reset. This is how you go slower to move faster. The squeeze. Work expands to fill the time you give it, so give it less. If you leave at 5 o'clock, your deadline is 4:30. Not because you love pressure, but because pressure strips waste. It forces good enough. It kills perfectionism, which is just procrastination in a tuxedo. Your schedule shouldn't be a prison, it should be a weapon. Lever 6, friction. If you rely on willpower, you have already lost. The brain is an energy-conserving machine. It always chooses the path of least resistance, so the solution isn't trying harder, it is engineering friction. Protocol, the friction shift. Increase the activation energy for bad habits, decrease it for good ones. Put your phone in another room, in a drawer, turned off, in your car. Make the wrong choice annoying, because your brain is lazy, and laziness can be controlled. The Google cafeteria study proved this. Simply by moving the unhealthy snacks further away and putting water closer, consumption habits changed instantly. People didn't get more disciplined, the environment just made the right choice easier. Do the same for your work. Prep the tools the night before, open the document, set the tab, make starting frictionless. Lever 7, the observer. We behave differently when we are watched. This is known as the Hawthorne effect or the observer effect. When you are alone in your room, it is easy to slack off. The brain feels safe in its mediocrity. But place yourself in a library, a cafe, or a co-working space. Suddenly, you work. Why? Because of social pressure. Even if strangers don't care what you are doing, your primitive brain thinks they are watching. It signals, do not look lazy, perform. Protocol, the panopticon. If you cannot focus, leave your house. Go where people can see your screen. Or use body doubling. Work on a video call with a friend with microphones muted. You don't need them to help you, you need them to witness you. Use your social anxiety as a productivity tool. Lever 8, attention. This is the one that makes you feel busy while achieving nothing. The urgency trap. Your brain prefers urgent tasks over important ones. Email feels urgent. Deep work feels distant. Urgent tasks give you tiny dopamine hits, little check marks that soothe anxiety. So you spend your morning eating empty calories of productivity. I'll just clear my inbox first, you say. I'll just handle these small tickets. This is a trap. It is called cognitive load. Every small decision you make drains your battery. By the time you finish the small stuff, your battery is dead. By noon, you feel productive, but your life didn't move. The rule: big thing first. Do the important work in your prime time. Leave the small, urgent tasks for the afternoon, when your brain is tired anyway. The cognitive load trap. Stop multitasking. The brain cannot multitask. It task switches. Every switch has a metabolic cost. Glucose burns. Attention residue lingers. It is like turning your car engine off and on at every red light. By the afternoon, your prefrontal cortex is exhausted. You call it lack of motivation. It isn't. It's damage. Simplify. Single task. One tab, one goal. Your attention is not just focus. It is your life in liquid form. Spend it like it matters. One final habit. It is counterintuitive. When you hit a good stopping point, don't stop. The brain remembers open loops more than closed ones. Close the loop and the brain files it away. Open the loop and the brain keeps working in the background. So stop mid-sentence. Stop when you know exactly what comes next. Leave yourself a cliffhanger. Then, when you sit down tomorrow, you don't need willpower. You feel pulled back. You bypass the cold start. Time isn't disappearing. It is being taken by systems you never questioned. Cramped space, shallow breathing, false identity, weak motivation, impossible schedules, low-friction distractions, urgency addiction. So stop fighting your biology. Use it. Pick one lever. Take one lever back, and the day stops running from you. Because the goal isn't to be faster, it is to be free. Now you understand how your brain deletes time. But time isn't the only thing it steals. If you want to understand how your brain deletes focus, and how to enter deep work without forcing it, watch this next video. One mechanism, one shift. Click it, or stay scattered.